It is time to head up the Goodwood Hillclimb in the SF90 XX. You join me here at the Festival of Speed 2024 Supercar Paddock, here with Ferrari, with an extraordinary lineup of cars, including the SF90 XX Spider. Now, why this is particularly exciting is that my SF90 XX is not very far away now. It's going to be here in only a matter of months. At this point, I haven't yet revealed the full specification that I've chosen, but this is the Spider, the even rarer variant of Ferrari's first road-legal XX car, bringing that philosophy to the ultimate extreme version of the SF90. Now, I've had my SF90 Stradale for about 2.5 years now. I love the car. This thing dials it up even further. Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a run on board the SF90 XX. There are some engines already idling in the background. It's very soon time to get this started, but let's take a very quick walk around to check out the SF90 XX Spider. In fact, it's here in a pretty incredible lineup with Ferrari. We've got the 812 Competizione A Aperta, beyond that it's the Daytona SP3, then the SP8, one of the special project one-offs, and then the FXXK Evo. But we're of course here to take a look at this, the XX Spider, one of 599 cars. There are also the 799 Stradales. Mine will be one of the latter, a total of 1,398 cars, of Ferrari's first production road car equipped with a fixed rear wing since the days of the F50 and the F40. There have been a whole host of changes, and in fact when you look at the car it looks radically different to that of the design of the regular SF90. I mean, starting at the front, this is a completely new look, enhancing the aero, the new ducts that you have up over the top. This particular car of course wears the optional carbon fibre wheels against the Rosso Corsa paintwork, and also the airbrush shields. We've got the louvres, familiar from many of Ferrari's different designs, like that of the F12 TDF. Talking powertrain, we've got the familiar 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 and the 3 electric motors for the hybrid powertrain setup, but it now jumps up from 1,000 to 1,030 horsepower. Now, one of the most interesting options to me is something you find on the interior, the new bucket seats. These were introduced with the SF90 XX, and I've only sat in them in static cars prior to this, and I've been pretty impressed so far. I can't wait to find out what these are like. I will certainly be having these in my car as well. There are a ton of different options and settings and things to take a look at and run through while we're out driving. Of course, with the carbon fibre door cards, all of this I'm really going to be taking in properly for the first time as we embark on a drive very shortly, joined by Ross Kaiser, who's going to be taking the wheel, talking to us a little bit more about it as he's piloting this over the weekend. But needless to say, at this point, I'm quite excited to experience it. My first ever run in a future Shmeemobile. Let's get ready to get this started and get on out. It's time. Ross, how you doing?
Good, thank you, Tim. How are you?
Very, very good. Excited to experience this for the first time.
Nice to see you. First time in SF90 XX?
You bet. That was a pretty epic startup. All right, we're literally going straight on out. This all happens. Oh, these seats are nice. Have you been driving this all weekend?
I have, yeah, since Thursday. So, yeah, it's good. It is extremely quick. Obviously, with those front electric motors and the E4-wheel drive, it is it's rapid off the line. So generally a launch control off the start, and then just feeling some of that 1,030 CV, about 1,015 horsepower. So yeah, it's extremely fast. Hopefully you'll enjoy it.
I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's fun for me because obviously I know my car very well, the regular SF90. I've done nearly 10,000 miles in it.
Have you? Wow.
But this is what happens when you dial it up a little bit. This car from Ferrari's fleet. And you're the lucky man who gets to pilot it.
Yes, yeah, extremely lucky, and it looks like a very busy day here at Goodwood.
It's absolutely packed right now.
Here, yeah.
Absolutely packed as we head around. Oh my days. Well, this is going to be a whole lot of fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that launch is like in a moment. Launch control off the line at the Festival of Speed Hillclimb. This is probably one of the fastest cars to be able to do that, in fact.
Yeah.
The seats are good. This racing bucket seat is good. Really nice. I like that a lot. So we head past some of the stands and get ready to line up ahead. Look at that pulling up to the start line. The Competizione A Aperta. Of course, another limited series Ferrari model. Absolutely stunning specification. This is one of the Cavalcade liveries. Cavalcade livery is only available to those who take part in the Ferrari Cavalcade events. There's something about seeing these two together. I'm hearing that right now. In rolls the Daytona SP3 with Pat. I actually rode in that exact car with Pat last year. That was mega fun. Rosso Magma is that amazing paint color. And then this is the SP8, which is one of Ferrari's special projects. Bespoke one-off build for a customer to their exact specification based on the F8 Spider with this transitional carbon fiber. I mean, look at that in the sunshine. That is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The dual tone look. And then of course, the FXXK Evo that lies behind. The XX cars began, of course, with the FXX, the 509XX, and the MXX. We're in a good place here. A couple of nice little sounds, everything around us, and the Roma alongside as well. Everybody getting engines warmed, prepared and ready. Even after coming to FOS for about 15 years straight, it still boggles my mind when you're standing here in the lineup of cars. You know, you've got the Ferraris, you've got the Aston Martins, the new Valiant, Victor, and then of course the view back the other way, just 50 odd of the latest and greatest supercars, hypercars, new releases, things that are being presented here, and of course the stuff like this, the stuff that you haven't really yet seen, the stuff that you haven't really yet experienced. And I'm super lucky to be able to hop in and share these experiences with you guys as well, because something like this, right, the SF90 XX is, it's dream car material. I can't get my head around the fact that it's actually kind of happened to be purchasing my first limited Ferrari. That's something that younger Tim could never have believed might one day happen, but here we are. And as a big fan of just extreme track cars, performance, everything this is about, this is going to be really cool. This is going to be really, really cool to experience. So yeah, I guess we hover here for a few more minutes and then it's going to be time to head on out and go do this. There are loads of things about the design of this, as we just had the 296 starting that I love. The rear wing, for example, the tail light back here, even the gurney flaps right there, these parts behind the rear wheels. One thing that I'm mixed about is what you've got here, the louvres. I love the style, right? Like the 250 GTO, like the F12 TDF, but look at the way these are done with this insert in the satin black, the shapes that you have here and here, and then compare with this one. Because of where it meets the body line, this is actually black vinyl. That's vinyl wrapped to give you the visual look, of course, but it feels slightly wrong. I think it's vinyl, maybe it's painted. I'm not entirely sure, and I don't want to start picking and peeling, of course, but that's one thing I just find a little bit awkward about this, if I can say it. It is time, thank you very much, time to squeeze back in here. Right, in we go. This is always just mega. Wyra R, Utopia, Evija, Zinger, Valiant doing a burnout, Victor. My days. It's a cool place to be, this, isn't it? We're very lucky. Very lucky, very cool to be here. Oh, of course, you've got the digital rearview mirror now on here as well. Obviously, the passenger screen here for a few controls. We can have performance open, so we can see gears, engine and tyre temps, everything kind of warming up at the moment, in different settings and what we've got going on. But obviously, open to the elements, different experience. 296 GTS. Get some heat in those tyres.
Sure, Darren's got enough steering lock. Just. No.
Not quite, not quite. Darren Turner in the Victor. Easy peasy in here, right?
Yeah.
And then the Ferrari's Roma Spider. Should pick mine up in just a couple of weeks now, which is cool. Now that's cool. 499p Modificata. Oh, that sounded nuts. Been lucky to drive one of those?
No, unfortunately not.
Would love to drive one of those?
Would love to drive that, yeah. that is right up my street, one of those. Yeah.
Mega things. Oh, that V12 sounds so cool. I noticed that we are currently in qualifying and race. Presumably you've decided that's the best for here?
Yeah, correct, Tim. I think to feel the ultimate performance of this car, qualifying on the E-Manatino and race on the normal Manatino, we can set a launch control and really feel all of that power and four-wheel drive off the line.
Because it's one of the things, right, with this much power and with the electric motors, if you try and turn everything off, you're defeating the point of the clever computers.
Yeah, correct. I tried that on the first day, everything off, and it's a bit more spectacular, you get a bit of smoke, but it's just performed so well with the front wheels driving, it still picks up well. So I think to feel ultimate performance, qualify, race and launch is the way to go.
Makes sense, makes sense. This is always the exciting moment. Yeah. What tyres are we on? Cup 2Rs?
Yes.
Cool. Sticky stuff, which is good when they're warm, but doesn't help you when you've been sitting in a traffic jam.
Cold brakes, cold tyres. So we'll see.
Warm engine, but yeah. But the thing is, I know how ballistically fast this is going to be. But there's this whole new shift logic. You've got the boost as well.
Yeah, that's it. Got the extra boost here. You can see on the display.
Yes, I can see that. I need to obviously learn how some of that works. It's all fully charged at the moment, but kind of deploying the electric energy even quicker. More power. Oh, I love it in here. Love it. Feels like a proper machine. We're rolling up to the start line.
Yeah.
Nearly time to go. I mean, that was quite cool. Up to the start line we go. Ready for the launch. Hold on tight. Gosh, that pulls. Oh my days. This is insanely fast. 215 kilometers an hour. As we're now blasting up towards the famous Flint Wall. This platform is absurd. What on earth? Wow. What a monster. It's quick, isn't it? It's insanely quick. What's really interesting though is first gear, it's clearly kind of slightly torque limited.
Yes.
And then when you get into second, it's like that extra shove.
No, exactly that. That first bit off the line, obviously there's so much power, it's managing it. And then you get to second, and then third, and then it just feels like every gear it's got even more power.
Yes,
it's like the opposite to what you'd expect.
Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Normally in a car, when you shift up to second, let's say, the acceleration slows from first and third slows from second. But in here, it's truly like somehow it just finds some more. It just finds an extra spurt. This is mega. Thank you for that.
No problem, bud.
That was so cool. Up here at the top then, the cars that are in this lineup. In fact, Mika Hakkinen just here, who's been driving the McLaren Solus GT, the Zinger 21C, 296, all of the cars around. In fact, the trio of Valor, Valiant and Victor, all the different Ferraris that are around, the Paganis. This is just Hypercar, Supercar, Dreamland. In fact, I haven't really spent very much time checking out the 499P Modificata. It kind of appears for the Hillclimb run, but the Modificata is effectively the Ferrari Le Mans car available for customer purchase and unrestricted. And I mean, you just stand here, right, looking at this thing. It is bonkers, quite frankly bonkers. The 499P victorious in both years it's been out at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And then, I mean, just, yeah, keep looking around. Valkyrie, Senna, GTD, P1. I will never get bored of walking around here. Never ever get bored of walking around this lineup of cars in the slightest. When you have special stuff like this, Ferrari often bring one of the special projects to this event. Oh, it's even got the matching slightly tinted iridescent carbon fiber on the steering wheel and the interior details, which of course makes sense, but lots of customization that you can do with Ferrari, and when it's a special project, you can go even further with that. Look at this thing. I saw the concept model when visiting the Ferrari museum, and yeah, that's been my ride. First time out in it. Oh, T33, that sounded mega. Okay, what can I say about this then? First passenger ride is that it obviously felt pretty extreme, just jumping in like that. Straight off the bat, serious power. Love looking around it, taking in all the details, obviously all the exposed carbon. In fact, a lot of the exposed carbon is basically standard, I think, on the car. These little details for the blades around, the side skirts. What else do we have? This, the lower windshield arm. I think that's an option. You don't really see it. I don't think I've ordered that on my spec. bonnet vents, front splitter, and all of this. Always interesting as well to see how they go about things like the sensor. But I like what they've done here because it sits tucked in underneath the plate. We're in the UK, you have to have a plate, so I'm going to have one obviously on mine. But I like how the sensors and things are disguised and hidden away. That's where your towing eye is, just tucked in on that strip of the front bumper. And then you have a choice of suspension systems and setups. We picked up some hay bales, Bugatti Bolide that I rode in as well. So you can have the standard fixed Multimatic dampers or upgrade to adaptive dampers. T50S, and with the adaptive dampers you then get a lift system, which you need to protect that front lip, obviously. So we're being called, it's about to be time to get back down. This is where you have, that's the rear view camera by the way, the rear view mirror camera I should say, and then that's your antennas and radio stuff on the top of it. And of course inside, I mentioned these seats are adjustable, so to show you that quickly, down here you can change the rake of the backrest by rotating this, which is kind of interesting because normally you'd think these are fixed buckets, but they have some stretch at the side so that you can change them, although it does mean you can only have the outer edges of the seat in black. Very few options in terms of what you can do with the customization of this seat at this stage. Maybe that changes in future. What a noise. It's actually something funny because you think twin turbo and modern generation, the cars can't sound good, but this actually sounds mega, especially cold start. Cold start's awesome. Off we go, heading back down. Yes, manual, has to be. You hear that though, even then doing fairly gentle shifts, not full revs, it has more of a snap to it.
Yeah.
It's a more lively.
Definitely punchier gear shifts.
Something very loud just ran through the rally stadium.
Very cool rally car over there, yeah.
Have you ever been through there?
No, I haven't actually.
It's a lot of fun.
Have you?
It's a lot of fun.
Is it? What have you been through there in?
Oh, I can't really remember right now. Just one time, I literally turned up and got thrown into the passenger seat.
No way.
And it was a wild ride. It was a wild ride.
Sounds good. Yeah, the TV footage is always cool through there. It looks great.
What a beautiful day to be driving a Spider. Like genuinely, right now, this is pretty fantastic.
It's glorious now.
Thank you to all of the marshals for all of their work, as always here. I didn't spend any time at all on the Hillclimb run looking at this screen. I was too fixated on that one over there. That's quite funny because this will tell me a whole lot more with G-forces and everything else. And obviously on this you can go Navi, audio, settings, go through various things depending what you would like. Also, you can see the state of battery charge, of course. Oh, that's fun. It shows you whether it's depleting, charging, what it's doing with the hybrid system. Just like playing with some of this stuff. There's quite a lot of space inside. By changing the door cards to this carbon fibre rather than the leather finish that it normally has, I feel like you get a little bit more room around the side of you, which is really nice. And then the central tunnel, as I mentioned, is all completely different. And a little storage space, tiny little cubby back there between the seats. The seat design is really nice as well. It's actually hollowed out behind, which is interesting. Cool. Under the bridge we go, past Goodwood House. Always feels very special to be right here, even more so the cars all around us. Back round at the start and in towards the paddock where we're going to get parked up in a moment and yeah, have some final thoughts. Isn't it amazing how many people come here for the Supercar Paddock?
Crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It always
packed.
seems to be the busiest place to be.
Just huge numbers of people, and that's people who are here when the cars aren't even here. Oh, that's fun.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Nice. It's quite strange seeing the Ferrari side with no cars and no people. Any other time of day, or give it about 15 minutes from now and it'll be heaving here again.
5 minutes, I think.
Yeah, literally 5 minutes time, all the cars parked up, and then yeah, in we go. Just trying to think if there's any like last minute things I should be playing and poking around with. There's no glove box on here, which is interesting. That's gone, save some weight, why not? Lots of carbon everywhere, nice stitch. And obviously you can have these painted inserts to match a few different colours, or I suppose with Atelier and TaylorMade you can bespoke them to your own specifications. But yeah, here we are, as if by magic. Back in our space. Thank you very much. Nice. Thank you for the run, appreciate that a lot.
No problem.
Great fun.
Great to see you, Tim.
And see you again soon.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We've made it back then. The last cars are all parking up, and I've now experienced the SF90 XX, and it's not going to be long until I can experience mine. And I've said it a few times before now that the spec I've gone for on the XX Stradale is going to be out there. It's going to be really striking. So stay tuned to see that. Of course, it's a car, or a name we could say, that like many modern Ferraris is a little bit controversial here and there. An XX car for the road. You know, you think of XX cars and you think of that noise in the background, the FXX K-Evo, the 599XX, the FXX, and having experienced each of those before now, they are monstrous track machines. This is, of course, more akin to your Pista to the 488 or Speciale to the 458, or that kind of more track focused version of the road car, because at the end of the day it is a road car, and you do feel that the ride comfort, the interior, even though it's stripped out, it's still road car first and foremost. And I think that's how it needs to be viewed, right? Don't get too caught up on the XX thing and thinking that it must be the most extreme track car that's ever been made. Think of it as the limited series special edition SF90. And once you do that, and once you understand a little bit more of what it's about, this is a seriously cool car, and a car that I cannot wait for. And now we know as well that it will be joining some others in the garage too down the line. It's going to be quite the Ferrari collection, and I can't get my head around that. So a big thanks to Ross, a big thanks to Ferrari for the opportunity to come along and to experience today the XX. Now I can't wait to get behind the wheel, and of course to take delivery of mine a little bit later this year. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.